In March of 2019, the Odyssey team kayaked from Lake Nicaragua to Bocas del Toro, Panama. Having just completed the San Juan River, we paddled from the Delta crossing along the canals to the town of Tortugero.
Alright, here we are in Tortugero. We just had our first respectable day on the boats. I think 55 kilometers from Delta, the police station, to here, all via canals. Oh my gosh! Hello! Oh.
We spent a day in the well-provisioned tourist town, cleaning the river grime off of our gear and watching the sea. It seemed a lot calmer than it had been when we tried to start this journey in Bocas in February. We decided that rather than continuing in the canals to Limon, we would set out on the open water immediately. The next stretch was on beautiful calm waters, with swells of less than 1 meter. The locals were right when they had told us the winds, which had whipped in February, would die down in March. A breeze would pick up for a bit in the afternoon, but not for long, and I immensely enjoyed the company of the jellyfish, dolphins, diving birds, and the volcanoes moving along the horizon.
The great thing about a sea sock is that it doubles as a water catchment system.
We paddled towards the city of Limon, the only port on this coast of Costa Rica. We had hoped to obtain zarpes and get our passports stamped out by the marine officials, but, like in Panama, we were told that ours were not sea vessels, so our only option was to access the border by land crossing.
We're in Puerto Limon, Costa Rica, hoping for our best stamping out experience yet, which would not be that hard because all we have to do is actually make it across the border and not get arrested, and we will have surpassed ourselves. So here's hoping.
You have to go to Sixola, so anywhere to cross the border. How are we going to get there?
We can either go up the river, like go down the ocean side, go up Sixola River, get stamped across, go back down, or bus.
So we came through Limon, told everything was good. We just needed to come back, get stamped out. It happened to be a different person working today. He called up. They decided that no, sea kayaks are not in fact seaworthy vessels, that we needed to have that we needed to have life vests, radios, flotation devices. We told them we do. They said it doesn't matter. We said, how can you say sea kayaks are not seaworthy when we've been kayaking on the sea? They decided that they're not worthy for international.
Then we told them we've been going international, and they were like, oh, that's Nicaragua.
And we
That's
said,
not Costa Rica.
so, I don't know.
Great day.
I would probably not try to sea kayak Central America. They're more, like, the water so far has been
Amazing.
good. The people so far have been alright. It's the border officials like to make things complicated. Fun.
There's a saying that's unique to Costa Rica, pura vida. It has a number of interpretations, and they would use it as a greeting, a way of saying you're welcome. Our experience of it was the way in which the locals, in time out on the water, could clear away any frustrations that we had carried. Once we'd figured out the Sixola land crossing alternate, which we could access by river, we headed back to our boats and continued to enjoy the overcast, calm weather, and stopped at a few coastal national parks to check out the reefs and wildlife.
We did another marathon today.
We had enjoyed a wonderful night of camping, watching the fireflies and the moonrise. But the next morning, a park guard showed up to berate us, saying that we were not allowed to camp there because we could get killed. His concern is valid, as the narcotraficantes who use this coast to move drugs between the Americas are a shadow which hangs over the beauty and the peace of the region. Fortunately, in our time, the only thing which slayed us was the mosquitoes. From the park, we paddled into the little town called Manzanillo, the end of the road in Costa Rica. We spent a day there snorkeling, resting, and getting ready to cross the border. Twice while out on the water, we had been scouted, and one time approached by the Marine border agents. As we approached the boundary between Costa Rica and Panama, we saw no one. It was a drizzly day as we paddled towards the Sixaola river mouth, from which we would access the border crossing station.
The mouth of Rio Sixaola. It's the border between Panama and Costa Rica. We found a really kind local family who are willing to help us cheat the system by giving us a ride up the river to stamp from Costa Rica into Panama and then bring us back. So, la pura vida. Well, here we are doing our favorite thing, entering Panama.
Love it so much.
So much.
I can figure it
This time, via the Sixaola border crossing.
Yes.
I dare say we might be about to exhaust the ways to enter the country.
Might be able to. I don't know.
Anyway, here's hoping that this is our most successful border crossing. Oh God, unless I get hit by a truck.
We had ended up spending the night with the family who had helped us up the Sixaola River. The next morning, Richard left them much of his cooking kit and his extra gear, committed as we had become to covering the distance from the border back to Bocas in a single day. We were all dreaming of a pizzeria we had found in Bocas and were up to the challenge. The next afternoon, one by one, we paddled back into the dock from which we had first attempted to launch this journey about 2 months ago. We owe huge thanks to Trak Kayaks. Without their innovative boats and community of support, this would not have been possible. And to Richard for being a patient teacher, and Robin for teaching us how to roll and surf.
Hello. Are you the dock master?
And to all of our sponsors, Patreon supporters, blog readers, video subscribers, and yourself. Gracias.
What's best?